Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Vaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrindam.
Good day, Haribo, Namaste. Welcome to this Thursday Yoga Talk, another episode for this week. I am Nefa of Philippine Yoga Academy and I am a yoga holistic coach. This show is all about yoga under the sun and beyond. We give you all the bits and talks all about yoga and other matters that will help you and assist you through your yoga journey. This afternoon, let us learn the whereabouts on how to keep an active business amidst of the pandemic and be inspired with the breakthrough stories of digital fitness marketing. Our guest this afternoon is a prominent and a successful entrepreneur. She strives to keep her business active because she valued the people around her and the quality of their brand. During the pandemic, she had shown exemplary feats, along with her beloved husband Marvin and the supportive staff. Altogether, they made it through. The CEO of Philprint, the co-founder of Smarties Apparel, co-founder of Active Woman, founder of Active Hub Fitness. Let us welcome Miss Teresa "TERE Conson. Hello.
Hi, Coach Nifai. Thank you for that introduction. How are you?
I'm very much fine and I'm very cozy right now. Actually, I'm quite nervous that I am with you.
Uh,
Um,
you don't need to be.
that's the first time that somebody asked me actually how I am, and yeah, right now, um, Mr. Thank you very much for this opportunity that you are with me. But before we start, I would like to know so that you can tell our viewers um, more about yourself, what you do, whom do you do it for, and yes, what's going on with you right now.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Nephi, for inviting me for this talk. It's also a breather for me from the day to day stresses at work. And so it's nice to, especially we're already in Women's Month this March. So it's nice to talk to co women who are also founders and also empowered women. So, a brief introduction about myself. I'm TERE Conson. I'm an entrepreneur. I started Active Woman and Active Hub through the push from my husband.
Mm,
I'm really not an entrepreneur before. I was in sales and marketing way back
mm-hmm,
in 2015 in Singapore.
mm,
But my husband wanted to go back in Cebu to start a
mm,
business. So he taught me the digital marketing side of the business since he's a developer. So it actually worked for quite some time. So that's why we're thriving, especially now in pandemic. We don't have to worry about this um, having a store because we're already in digital since
yes.
2015. Yeah. So the reason why I created Active Woman because I wanted to create a community of empowered women.
Mm,
So yes, with Active Woman came first before Active Hub. Um, there were a lot. I wanted to create something because for me, I have difficulty finding um,
mm,
plus sizes here. So since we have
mm,
a manufacturing firm, I there is a need to manufacture plus size because in fitness, it's you don't start as a slim person or a
yeah,
fit person.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you really have to start somewhere.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's why I created Active Woman in
Mm,
complementary with Active Hub because me and my husband are overweight and obese before. I mean,
mm,
we still are, but we are doing something for
yeah, yeah.
ourselves. Yeah, we are doing something for ourselves. That's why in Lapu-Lapu, we search, yeah, in Lapu-Lapu, we search a lot of gyms here in Lapu-Lapu,
Mm,
and none of which addresses our needs for like
mm-hmm,
us entrepreneurs. Like, I just wanted to do a quick 1 hour stretching and 1 hour exercise,
mm-hmm,
so I can get on with my day. None of that here
mm-hmm.
because the gyms here are traditional. There's a
Yeah.
treadmill, there's a coach, so that's why Active Hub was created. It's an hour of circuit training with a coach. Um, so it is actually a holistic kind of exercise because from Mondays to Fridays it focuses on each. For example, Monday it's legs, Tuesdays
Yeah.
it's biceps, Wednesdays it's abs. So I'm really happy that I've found a team. I'm not a fitness coach or anything. I am just an entrepreneur who sees the opportunity that it can be done here in Lapu-Lapu. So that's why I'm very thankful that my coaches have the same vision as me and my husband do,
Mm-hmm,
to create a fitness community, not just for the elites or for the
mm-hmm.
athletes, but for ourselves as entrepreneurs or as beginners. Because nowadays health is very important. It's the
Yeah.
first line of defense. You have to be healthy in order for you to survive or fight COVID, right? So
Yes,
that's
yes,
why
yes.
Active Hub was created. And by the way, I almost forgot to mention that last year during the pandemic, there was a 5 months hiatus in our gym, so we were still paying rent, and that was really a very hard 5 months. So
Yeah.
I told the coaches, I told the team that we're okay. Let's just close the gym. So But luckily, Rex, Coach Rex,
Yeah,
told
yeah.
me, um, no, let's pivot, let's adapt. So my husband said also to me that, no, you have to pivot because there is an opportunity here in fitness. Because pandemic is a restart button. The
Mm,
small and the big companies are in the same level, in the same
mm,
ball game. So
yeah,
the quickest one to adapt and survive would be the winner. So
yeah,
not all gyms are doing what Active Hub is doing. Um,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's why I think
Exactly.
we're thriving. We're thriving. It's not that um, it's really just a matter of how you adapt and
Mm,
adjust to the needs. So it's just if it doesn't work, then let's try another way. So that's why we tried online classes at first. Luckily, we get clients, international clients. We have clients
mm,
in Canada, Dubai, Australia, and then after that, we discovered a need that we need to do physical exercises.
yes,
So yeah, how are we going to do that if the gyms are closed or it's limited to only 8 to 12 persons?
exactly.
So yeah, so I there is already a trend outside, so that's why we tried, and it worked. It worked.
Mm,
Um, right now, the events are our bread and butter, and the reason why we are also making more events, it's because the impact that I mean the feedback from our participants, like for example in Lumba, that
mm,
was our first. That was really our first obstacle. I mean adventure challenge. So we don't know what to expect, but in God's grace and through the efforts of the coaches and my husband, is really
yeah,
successful. So I'm really thankful. So right now, our mantra or our goal is just to survive, to pivot, to be resilient. And then after this pandemic, I know we will get through this pandemic. Um, Everything is limitless already. So I think that's
um,
about it for Active Hub.
yeah,
That's the
yes.
story during the
Yes.
pandemic.
I want to pause you for a while, Mr. Reno. Can you
Uh,
explain to us how did you how that digital Lumba is happening, that you're able to have it online? So how does the mechanics of that?
mm. For the adventure race, it wasn't a digital event. It was an in-person. But we
Mm,
have events that are virtual, nationwide. All
mm,
of the participants, most participants, I'm surprised that most participants are coming from Manila and Davao. So,
mm,
yes, there were really a lot of support, and we were really inspired to do our best because most of them messaged us like, "Thank you for this opportunity." Like there were a couple of messages that there were COVID patients, and that the mental health was really the effect of the mental health during their lockdown was really awful. So these events that we created gave them some validation and some happiness that
yeah,
they have accomplished something during pandemic, and
yeah,
they can still participate in fitness activities without I mean just by doing it indoor or outdoor. So it's a happy pill for them. So
yeah.
we're really happy about that. Yeah.
So anyone, for example, like me, if even other parts of the world, even
Mm.
international, I can participate with this. Though
Yes.
I will
Yes.
just follow the guidelines that you have laid, right?
Yes, there is a race mechanics. For example, for duathlon, it's gonna start this March 6th. It's a duathlon. I'll explain to you. A
Mm,
duathlon is a run bike run discipline. So our race mechanics is you cannot proceed to bike if you have not run. That's their
mm,
first discipline. So we have a starter category, for example, that's 10-kilometer run, 50-kilometer bike, and 5-kilometer run. So you cannot run 15 kilometers. You have to complete 10 kilometers run, and then after which you can complete the 50-kilometer bike, then the 5-kilometer run. So
Wow.
it has to be in sequence. So that's the race mechanics that we have. And people really love what we're doing. So I guess we're doing something good.
Yes, yes. And I want, for example, me, I will be participating and I'm living in Australia, for example.
Hmm.
So how will I submit that how did you know that I followed the mechanics?
Hmm. Yes, there is a group page and an email as well. So we're still developing the platform for that. But for now, there is a group page where you can submit your results. So it has to be, you cannot submit partial results. It has to be complete. You can only submit results once you completed the run bike run.
Mm,
So after which you have to, because we have an app for that, a GPS app. You can use Strava or
mm,
Relive or any GPS app that would monitor your distance. So for Strava, um, they can actually detect when you're cheating. So when,
mm,
yes, when you click on run and it's too fast, the activity is flagged. If you click on bike and it's the speed is like for car, then they flagged it. So automatically, we have a guideline that if we found out that they are cheating, then they won't get any entitlements. So the registration comes with a race kit and a medal. So if we found out that they are cheating, then they will not get any of that. So,
mm. Yeah.
so
Good.
it's
Good
pretty.
that you have. Yeah. It's good that you have all these apps that you can detect your participants
Mm.
for that. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Um.
It's
I want to know actually the particulars on, for example, is it a one day event that they can do, or they can have it for many days and then they will just submit their the result. Yeah, the
submissions. Yeah.
result. Yeah.
It's not a 1 day event, but a lot of them are preparing and doing it one shot. So,
Oh.
yeah, during the first day of the race, so most of the elite, they wanted it to do one shot. But for some, they can complete it. It's a for season two. It's 3 weeks since the
Mm.
highest category of the race is a 42-kilometer run, 300-kilometer bike, and a 21-kilometer run. So it's pretty hard. So
Yeah.
so if someone actually does that one shot, then hands down, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I can. For me, it's kind of relaxing in my part because it's not in a one blow that I can
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
So um, if I will be to attend that kind of event, I will have it not in one blow, but
Mm,
maybe scheduled. If, for example, if I have a workout of every the other day, then I can do the task and then submit it to you one by one. If I will be the one to do it, because I know how hard it is to bike, to run, and then to bike again, and then it's not the only thing that you also do in your life. But it's really good that you come up with this kind of mechanics, because this is, yeah, like what you said, you are the pioneer of this kind of event. And yeah, I was when I saw all your posts in Facebook, I was really intrigued how you made it. Mr. Okay, so Mr. Ray just hung up. She will be coming back in a while. So, for those of you who are watching with us right now, I'm having my guest, Miss TERE Conson, the owner of Active Hub, and she is sharing with us all the wonderful experiences that they have for this digital fitness events, and how they started with their business. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Red to come back and to continue our discussion. Um, for a while, um, I will. So
Hello,
there you
sorry,
go. It's okay.
sorry. The
It's okay.
Wi-Fi here is unstable. So yes,
It's
where were
okay.
we?
Yeah. So I was saying a while ago that if I will be the one to attend this kind of event, I will just incorporate it with my with my routine, with my fitness routine. And it's
Yes,
amazing also because I was when I saw all the posts in Facebook, I was really intrigued how you come up with the idea, and it's so refreshing. And being the pioneer with that kind of platform, I know that how does it how does the recognition, or how does it, because I saw one of your posts that you were recognized by some of the sports commission here in the Philippines, right? So how was the story behind that? Can you walk us through that?
yes, yes. We were actually quite surprised why they called us and invite us to be speakers for this. But I guess um, we are actually the pioneer for the virtual duathlon. There are a lot of marathons, virtual runs, virtual bike challenge, but for duathlon, it's actually a lot of recording and data entry, so it's quite complicated. But I think season one, we had a successful event, so that's why there were a lot of participants registering for this coming season too. So luckily, the sweep, that's actually sports for women empowerment and employment program for Women's Month. Yeah, we were invited to get to tell the world how we're doing it, and yeah, hopefully we're happy to share like what I'm doing right now. Um, we're happy to share the the process that we have, but it's really an honor to be invited for that ASEAN conference because to be um, sitting, or I mean, to be speaking side by side with ESPN, like, oh goodness. So,
Yes.
yeah, after the meeting, we got chills. Like, I was telling Rex, I was teary eyed. I think I was crying after that. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, Rex, this is the next big thing. This is the
Yeah.
next big thing. So, we're really happy that we are doing what we are happy to do, we're passionate about. So we will continue as long as there is a need to create events, or as long as there is still fitness in the world, then that's where Active Hub will be. So I think
I'm
that's it.
actually intrigued, Miss Tere. You know how did you the brainstorming? Because I know that you have a very good stuff around you, and you have great minds around your midst. No, so to come up with this with that kind of idea is something that other people will not expect, right? So in I want actually to know the how are you coming up with these ideas that others cannot, cannot think of it, because if right now you are saying that you are invited by the ESPN and other commission, sports commission in the Philippines. I think for me, being there is just a sign that you have done something that they didn't come up,
Others are not doing.
yeah. So
Mhm. I
even
think
themselves,
I think
yeah,
I have
even
the right
themselves,
team.
yeah.
Mm.
um
Yeah,
because you have
they are asking how are we doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So can you just uh give us some glimpse of that. So how those great minds are coming into that kind of ideas.
Hmm. Um, Great ideas usually comes from the shower. So
Yeah.
yeah, and also when you're meditating or running or doing biking or cycling. So Rex, the gym manager, is a good researcher. I'm really happy with what he's doing with Active Hub. For me, it's not just about me or Rex. It's actually a teamwork. So our team or the events will not happen if either one of our team members are not functional. So I make sure that we brainstorm, we try a lot of. Before this event, there were a lot of errors, failures that we have with digital marketing, but we did not give up. Before we were doing podcasts with the coaches, and it really has improved. But I think we can do more with that. So um, we tried. How did we come up with that? I think it's because of the team's ideas. We pitched in a lot of ideas, crazy ideas, like how about at first we just really want to do a virtual run because
Mm.
I attended some events, but it's virtual run. Like I told myself, how about if we have also consultants, Elaine Sanchez and TJ Marino. We had some consultants who are
Mm.
triathletes. So I asked them
Mm.
about, is this distance okay, or is this duration okay? So they pitch in their ideas, and then we had to do the back end, the recording and stuff, and then the logistics. That's the heavy part. You have to have the right people in it, otherwise it's money down the drain. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really all about teamwork and the right people who will give you the consultation or the ideas. Because if if you have the wrong team, then it will never happen. So I'm really thankful that we have consultants, Elaine, TJ,
Mm.
Tiny. Some of them are our students. Actually, there are also athletes. And then Rex is the technical director. Then our coaches, they pitch in their ideas, their suggestions. So that's how we come up with our events. So
Wow. There you
um,
go.
yeah,
I'm taking note.
I,
I'm taking note actually when you say you hired a consultant or there's a consultant in your group because that's very important. Some
mm,
I think one of the because we are, our topic this afternoon is about how to maintain your business during the pandemic, and maybe that highlight of coming up with somebody, a consultant that is adept with what you do, is a
mm,
really a big contribution to the success of the events. And
yes.
um, talking about the business, Mr. Reno, I want to know, and also other of our viewers, for the benefit of our viewers, is it costly to redirect your business into digital world?
No, for me it's not expensive because it's actually saving me money. It's actually
Yeah.
yeah, it's saving me money because I don't need to hire more people. It's just you just have to build your core team. Once you have a core team, then your opportunities are limitless. So if I have actually we started our business digitally, so it wasn't really
Mm.
very hard to transition to the digital world for the gym. So
Mm.
since Smarties is already in the digital space. So I was looking for something, an avenue where, because right now contact sports are not allowed, right? So I
Yes,
needed
yes.
something. I needed to create customer base. So
Mm,
that's why I created events. So if I cannot find customers, then I will make customers. So that's
mm,
why this event happened. So
yeah.
so that's yeah. So be an entrepreneur. You need to be creative. You need to have crazy ideas. So that's why.
Mm.
So that's why
Yeah,
Smart
I
is
just
needed.
asked, yeah, I just asked that because most of people who are in the traditional kind of business are
Mm,
hesitant to dive
go
into the digital
digital.
platform because they don't know the what to do. But in your case, you just hired the perfect person to do that for you, right? And that's
Um,
why I asked if it is expensive or not because
no, it's not.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So
No, it's
there
not.
you
You'd
go.
be surprised. You'd be surprised on how many free applications you can find online. Of course, there's the premium one, but
Mm,
for me, I do the marketing. I all the banners and all of the marketing campaigns. I do it. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials. You just have to really
yeah.
invest in it. Go for the free ones. Go for webinars or even Spotify. There are a list of
Mm.
digital marketing webinars there. So research, research, research. That's the foundation. Yeah. So it's not difficult. You just have to find the right team. That's my advice.
Yes.
Mm.
Right team. There you go. Right
Yes.
team. So
Yes.
I'm reminded about that when you say right team and being a solopreneur because most of us during the pandemic there was a saying that the pandemic triggers us to be an entrepreneur because of the need to have something to put in our mouth. Yeah. So uh,
Mm.
some of us will start as a solopreneur and then what can you say
Mhm.
about these businesses wherein during the pandemic they started, they come up with many ideas as a solopreneur. Then after the pandemic, when it subsides, easily all the passion also subsides. So what can you say about that mentality or mindset?
Yeah. I always believe that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go further, then you have to build a team. So it doesn't mean you have to have a team of 10. You can have a
Mm,
team of two or three. So before, Active Hub started with only five of us. So me, Rex, and the three coaches, and no, six, Tata. So after that, now we're a team of 12, but we are already nationwide. So I think for me, for solo entrepreneurs, my advice is to just keep going. If you can, or if there is, you will know the right time to hire people. So you will really know that because the cash flow of the sales. So you just keep going. The difference between a solo entrepreneur and an entrepreneur with a team is that if the solo entrepreneur, you don't have any commitments. I mean, first, sorry, you
yeah.
can just yeah. If you don't want it, then you can just stop. But if you have a
Mm,
team, you can just tell the team na, okay, delete na lang ko, mag-close na lang ko karon. And then wala na tayo sweldo. So,
yeah.
madole ko na. So
So
that's
yeah,
why.
the
Yeah. So
accountability. Yeah.
yes, that's
It's
the
yeah.
accountability and the responsibility. But um, for me, the interesting thing about entrepreneur and business is how you impact creating jobs for other people. So it's really, aside from the products or the customer satisfaction, it's the jobs that you have saved. It's the reason why I created this event is we had a lot of displaced workers in Lapu-Lapu that we had hired for part-time because we were
Mm,
making masks that time. Yeah. And then
mm,
it's really hard to let them go because
mm,
imagine we only have a core team of 50 and we
mm,
hired another 50. Imagine if we're going to let go 50 mananahe, then that's 50
mm.
families. that's gonna
Yes.
go hungry. So that's
Yes.
why I created this event for two reasons. One, to create for the participants to be happy, and one, to create jobs for the displaced
Wow.
workers. So
Amazing.
yeah. So yes,
Amazing.
but if you will really go, I started Active Woman as a one woman show. I just did the shipping and all, and then the marketing. But eventually, you will ask for help. Um, you will know the right time if you can see the cash flow coming in. Even though if it's not really full time, you will eventually just know. Like for Active Hub, I just eventually know when is the right time to hire people. So as long as you
Mm.
keep the expectations
Yeah.
at first, you just really have to discuss the expectations and what's needed of him to perform or what's his task. Then you're good. And always have paperwork. I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I'm not that adept entrepreneur yet, but I'm learning some of the techniques about entrepreneurship. And when you say about expectations, some other entrepreneurs say that just keep your expectation low, and some say that don't have your expectation. The expectation should be out of the window. So where are you in that angle in
for
terms of
me,
having a business?
for me, if you want to business your business to soar high, then you have to have standards. So your team will be your shadow. So if your team has low standards, then it will reflect on you that you also
Mm,
have low standards. So
exactly.
you have to let them see the vision. Let them see the vision that where your company is heading. Um, you let them understand that why are you doing this and why where we're getting this kind of sales, but our profits are low because of this. So you need to handhold them, especially when you're new to the business. Um, you, it's easier. It's easier when you manage. This is actually based on my own experience with Smarties, because
Yes,
Smarties is
yes.
already 100 employees. So
Mm,
what I've learned from Smarties, I'm applying it to Active Hub. So I told Rex that if your team goes to 10 employees, then that's the time that there will be um, um, problems along the way, because it's easier to control a small group. So you can, if you're still starting, then it's easier to coach them what's expected of them. Always be upfront. Your employees sometimes do not know what's happening about.
mm,
They do not know that. All they see is just the sales coming in. They don't
mm.
see what you're spending or what's your operational expense. They don't care about that. So you just have to let them understand, especially when you're still new. You let for Active Hub, I show them the numbers. This is our sales. This is our sales, but this is our expenses. How can we control this? How can we save from our expenses? Because for them, for Active Hub, I'm doing profit sharing, so they're very meticulous already on the expenses. So they will get more profit share. They need to control on the expenses like bond papers.
So,
Um,
so you
uh,
think, do you think, ma'am, I will just stop you for a while for that. Do you
mhm,
think that showing them the matrix of how the highs and lows of the business and the cash flows, it's helping
mhm.
them to get motivated to do more for the
Yes,
vision. Okay, so you can
yes,
continue.
the company. I mean, the employees just need to understand or see the bigger picture, because sometimes they can be misguided, or sometimes they will see that, oh, si ma'am sige lang shopping si Juan. Yeah, but you have to let them understand that, hey, this is your sales. Sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
see your personal money that you're spending. It's part of the sales, but no, you have to be transparent with them. But eventually you will learn. I'm always here. You can always ask me because I would be happy to share. Like before when we were still starting, I always ask my CEO friends, my
Mm.
many clients. I ask them about the business side. So I've learned a lot from them. So I'd be happy to pay it forward as well. I'll be happy to share my experiences and what are the expensive mistakes that we had. So
Yeah. Let's go about this making making your passion as your business and starting a business, and then the passion will just develop. So how does it works for you? Is it coming from a passion then turn into business, or a business doing the business and then the passion just dance to the while you are in the business?
for me, I think you have to have the passion because when you have to have the passion. My husband always say to my employees, what do you want to do until you're 60, until you're 50?
Mm.
So you have to have the passion about putting up a business because when push comes to shove, uh, you're really tired. You
Mm.
just have to remember why did you start this business? What's your
Your why?
advocacy,
Yeah.
your whys, and how do you keep going? So you have to have the passion. For me, my passion is to empower women to have my own brand um, for plus size or any kind of size, any sizes for women. So that's why my apparels are from 3XS to 6XL. So
Yeah.
that's my passion to empower women. For Marvin, that's his passion is to create jobs. So yeah.
Wow. Talking about this, the when you make when you start your business, Mr. Ray, how is it important to have the legal papers? How will it help for an entrepreneur to start your business with legalities like registering your business, and how does it helps when your business when you start your business right with those papers, and how it helps when you go
Along the
as
way.
your business grow, yeah, along the way.
Yes. Um, the expensive mistake that we have before when we started the business way back in 2015 is we did not have an accounting.
Hmm.
The first, yes, if you do not know accounting, you have to hire. The first person that you need to hire is an accounting or just a contractor for once, or you have to trust a trusted accounting. Why? Because you would not know if you're losing or not. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, we had expensive mistakes before. Um, we registered the business too quickly, even though it's still not operational. But yes, that's the legality. You just have.
Hmm.
I actually signed up. I'm actually a graduate of DTI
Hmm.
Mentor Me
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
It's a 12.
Kanegosyo something, yeah.
Yes, it's 12 weeks. It's free. It's free. But I've learned a lot from DTI that you have to register your business. Even just your business name, you just have to register it. And then after, you would know that you would be registering it for BIR since there are
Hmm.
sales coming in.
Hmm.
Because it's actually safe to register the business because you can sleep well. And then later on, if the business grows big, then you won't have problems with your financial audit or your if you want to loan in the bank, then you can use your
Hmm.
financial statements for that. So there are a lot. I'm not. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but
Yes, yes.
if you want to start a business, I suggest that you have to register it to DTI. You'd be surprised how many how many programs DTI can offer. They can even give you grants and funds. Um,
Wow.
yes,
Really?
DOS,
Funds?
yes, funds. DOST and DTI, they're actually giving during pandemic. They're actually giving small loans to the micro and small
Hmm.
businesses. So it's really good. It's really good that you tap. do not be afraid with the government agencies. There are a lot of help from them. You have to maximize whatever the small businesses or the entrepreneurs can actually use for from DTI, DOST. There are a lot. I've actually used that. I mean, I have leverage with DTI. I had a couple of projects we did not close because of DTI during the pandemic because we were guided what to
Mm.
do next. So yes, so my advice is to register your business first, just with the registered name, and then the rest will follow. Do not be afraid. Always ask them. They're very friendly. I have
Yes.
friends in DTI that you can ask me for numbers on how to register the business. So
Um, I'm very
yeah,
intrigued with that because many people are having hard time to start their business because they don't have the money to start with. Yeah. And they don't acknowledge that there are establishments in our government who are willing to assist us. And one of that, yeah, you have mentioned, one of my experience actually is going to this WD. Can you imagine that in this WD there is an option there? So they will give you money around 5,000 to start for business, for student loans or something like that.
yes.
And I was shocked because I went there just to have a reimbursement of my son's um, uh, hospital fee, because I've known that Cebu City is very generous when somebody gets sick. You can avail all this what they call this one, reimbursement program. So I went when I went there, I saw that this WD has this support for starting of business, and now you are saying that DOST and DTI is also doing the same.
Yes,
Mr. Ray,
yes,
I,
they
I
are.
asked you about that one because um, I was going through to the cash flow of your when you have a business. How do you manage the cash flow when one part of your business is kind of maintain the cash flow? Is it wise to have many kinds of business, or just stick to one brand, or stick to many brands so that they can support each other? So what is your
My say
let us
on that,
yeah, yeah.
do not put your eggs in one basket.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
really true because right now, during the pandemic, pre-pandemic, Active Hub was not really doing quite well. It's just like it's our hobby, and Smart T-shirt was funding it, and now Active Hub is funding Smarties. So
Wow.
it's just yeah. So that's why do not put your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify. You would know when is the time to diversify. So, for example, if your other business are low in sales, then the other business can actually help. So that's why you have to have multiple streams of income. So for me, it's not just Active Hub. That's my means of income. I have other means of income. So that's why you have to be financially smart about your business and also your finances. So that's why.
Um, I would love to know your say about this. If I am an entrepreneur, for example, I have this passion, and then this passion I started a business, and then after a while, it seems that I'm having hard time to maintain my business because it just started with a passion. And then what can you suggest for those people that they have the passion but they cannot keep their business and the cash flow intact together?
First, you have to have a business plan. You
Mm.
have to have a business plan. You have to have a projected sales, and you have to know by heart your expenses, what goes in and what goes out. So if you cannot consider that a business if you're still not earning, it's just a hobby. it's a hobby.
Yeah, yeah. I always hear that from entrepreneur. If you are the second person who told me that one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, you have the passion, but if if you are still not earning, then that's still not a business. It's a passion. It's a hobby. It's if you are not earning within a year, then you have to stop what you're doing. Yeah. But if you have the idea, if there some businesses thrive 3 to 5 years. That's if your business survives in five after 5 years, then you're considered stable. But do not just be complacent about it. But when you start a business, learn to control your OPEX as much as
OPEX.
possible. Yeah, that's your operational expense. Your
Okay.
labor,
Very very
sorry,
term.
your
Yeah.
labor, your rental. So you have to know by heart.
Okay.
If you know your operational expense, then you know how much sales are you going to make for the month. You have to know your break even points. So for me, for Active Hub, I know my break even, so I have to let them know if we go lower than this, then we have to make bawi the next day. If for this week we're quite low, then your salaries will be sacrificed, or so we have to find ways on how are we going to find your salary. The most difficult part of being an entrepreneur or a startup is always the salaries of your people. You have to make sure that it's actually intact, otherwise the morale will be low. But sometimes you have to let them understand that if you really cannot provide them salary, then you have to let them understand, hey, this is the situation. So you have to be transparent and honest with your staff. So that's why.
Okay, so let's go now to the active woman part in business. I'm I'm actually wanted to know personally if how do you deal as a business owner, being active in your business and your self-care. How do you manage the two when it comes to, I know how stressed you are when you have an event, and some people also might, some of your employees are saying something about you, right? So how do you manage all of that?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess
Um.
I have to manage it. No, the reason why I created Active Hub because we were really stressed. So I have to always find time, even just for meditation, in an hour for one day, because creative ideas comes when we exercise or we meditate or we do physical activities. So I manage it. You have to have one day for yourself. Like for now, during a weekday, I did my nails.
Yes.
It's really important to detach from work so that you can have more ideas when you go back to work. So you always have your me time because it's difficult if the business owner goes into a burnout. I've tried that before. Like I don't like to work. And my ideas just don't. I don't know. So that's why you have to take care of yourself. Just go out on the weekend, spend time with family. That's what we did because for just 1 year, we were able to keep the business, but it's still not as profitable as last year pre-COVID. Our goal is just to survive. So I think we are already in the right path. The vaccines are coming, and some of us have herd immunity already. So I'm hopeful that this pandemic will be over soon. So when the time comes that it's already over, then Smarties is still here, Active Hub is still here, and we have lesser competitors than before. So we would be the pioneers of whatever we're doing right now. So just continue what you're doing. Do not give up. There's always a way.
When you mentioned about a while ago about the burnout, I kind of I'm kind of trying. try to retract from that, because I know that this is very common for highly effective people. And I want to know, Mr. Re, from your personal experience, why is it that these highly effective people, high performance personalities, are always experiencing burnout when it comes to when they have this, even though their businesses are from the outside, from us looking at the outside, is very successful, but from the inner part, what are those burnouts that common business owners are experiencing?
Mm,
Just a glimpse of
good
that.
question.
Just a glimpse of
For
those.
us, yes, um, you would know we are experiencing burnout because it's the level of stress that we're handling. It's not just finding sales. It's not just getting the employee salary. It's it's the safety of the employees and also the the stability of the company. So it's not just a 9 to 5 job. It's when I wake up and close my eyes job, or I still think
Mm,
of the business. So even when we're sleeping, we can dream about the stress that we have. So that's why it's important to unwind, to avoid burnout. Because once you're ill or once you're sick, the company cannot replace you. So
exactly.
you have to really take care of yourself.
Wow. So now I can understand why why you are so passionate with this active woman, and all it will just start from an apparel, but in a bigger picture, I know what you're trying to send in a message in there. Yeah, you have to be
Mm.
confident with whatever you do as a woman. And I'm excited actually to have
Yes,
mine. And I cannot wait
yes,
to buy that size. It's hard. It's hard.
yes.
It's actually my size. When you texted me that you have those sizes of those
Mm.
activewear, I'm very happy because it's
Mm.
hard for me to find my size.
Mm. Same
um,
problem.
yeah. uh, Mr. Ray, going to the side hustle now of your business and your personal struggles also. Um, is there any moment in your business that you have set the timeline, when do you want to end your business, when do you want to engage yourself, not to end the business but to engage yourself and just let it automatic, let it flow
Mm.
automatically? When so
Automate the
did you come up with
business.
right now? Yeah. Did you ever think of that
Yes, I
right
did.
now?
I did. Mm. Yes, when you start a business, you have to have your 1 year plan, your 5 year plan, and your 10 year plan. You would. Um, so I plan that I need to automate the business when my management or my team is capable of making their own decisions. So I think we're getting there. By the time comes, then I will create another business so that we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
create jobs.
yeah.
Because when you're an entrepreneur, you can't stop. You can't stop
Mm,
creating ideas. You can't stop creating an impact in the society.
mm, yeah.
So that's my
Um,
advice to you as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. I can really feel that actually when you're saying it, because I know I'm also a thriving entrepreneur on my own, and right now I'm still a solopreneur. And seeing you going now in that path is it's really an inspiration. That's why I was very excited to have you as my guest, because all these questions that I'm asking now is just my personal question also that other people might be interested to know. And to start a business is something that you come up with an idea, and then to come up with an idea you have to support it financially. Yeah.
Yes.
And then to come up to and to look for people who you can work with. And
Mm.
talking about the people that you can work with, how do you deal when you lose someone in from the team who is contributed worthwhile? So how do you manage that kind of, for example, we are partners, and then
Mm.
suddenly when the business grow, you separated in such a way that this partner become your competitor. So how do you deal with that, Mr. Re? Or if some in your business it happens like that in the future, how will you
Good
deal with that?
question. Um, for that, I haven't really had that kind of an
Experience yet?
scenario, yeah,
Yeah.
experience yet. But I think in the future, people will still. You can create your own apparel, you can create your own gym, but it's not gonna be the same as Active Hub, or it's not gonna be the same as
Yes.
Constance. It could be better, or it could be less. So it's not gonna be an exact 100% copy of your business. So if ever he's gonna start or she's gonna start his own business, then I'm happy. I would be happy that he has learned a lot from me or from Marvin. So I like my boss, my previous boss in Singapore. He's happy where I am right now, and we're still communicating. So that's why you really cannot force a person to stay or not. You just really have to let them go if they it's time for them to spread their wings. So that's why you just have to be a sport and continue what you're doing and then let him do his own thing. So that's why it's just a friendly competition. There will always be a competition, and competition is good. So you can up your game in your line of field.
Wow.
Mm.
That's powerful. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have any question in mind right now, but I'm very, very much inspired with what all you have shared this afternoon. I know that you've run a lot of business, and is there any chance in the future that you will go into food business, or you will just stick in this now? What
Um,
I'm trying to say is, is it wise that in your kind of mindset, is it wise to invest in the food business or just stick in enterprise, or what can you say about the two business, the two kinds of
whatever. Yes, food business is really good. People eat. Even in that's the only pandemic proof business, the food business. So it's just a matter of how you market it, how you price it, or how you put that into the right perspective, the right timing. So why Food Panda and Grab are doing well? It's because of the need, the perfect timing, because
yes.
it's COVID, right? So
Mm,
for me, food business or not, whatever it is, if you're passionate about and you have a business plan for that, a concrete business plan, not just thinking it out of the blue, you have to write it down,
yeah.
because writing it down and seeing the numbers if it's feasible or not, then that's the time that you will say, okay, I will register my business. But if you're just putting it in a passion, just a passion or a hobby, then just observed, and if the cash is coming in, then you have to write down your business plan, your marketing plan. So the good thing about an entrepreneur is you always find an opportunity in every problem. So
Mm,
that's how we thrive as an entrepreneur. So we love to solve problems. So in every problem there's a solution, and in every solution there's a dime in it. So that's why you just have to
um
be passionate.
do you believe, Mr. Red, that being an entrepreneur can be inherited? Because like for example, if your father is Henry C, yeah, and then you are born that you have already that kind of business and that it's just transmitted to you. What is the advantage of,
Mm.
like, you are you are you born in a family of entrepreneurs, or you just,
No.
you know no? So what do you think is the advantage of developing being an entrepreneur and being born with a family of entrepreneurs?
For me, I don't believe in hereditary. Um, it cannot be inherited. It can be trained and developed. I've seen some CEOs, really billionaires. I mean, I meet a lot of clients where they're 60 years old, 50 years old, but their children are not entrepreneur mindset. So it's really the passion. It's really it's how they're trained. I myself, I wasn't from an entrepreneur background. I was in a working background. Um, my family comes from a medical, like nursing and business people. Um, but my husband's family is all entrepreneurs. So I got trained and it developed into a passion because of my husband and my mother in law. So that's why I don't believe in hereditary because it can be trained. So do not believe that you cannot be an entrepreneur because your parents are not entrepreneurs. No, Henry C's family did not come from a very wealthy family, right? So it
Yes,
just
yes.
comes from how you hustle. So if you do not have parents who are entrepreneurs, then you have friends. You'd be surprised to know a fellow entrepreneur would really love to help another entrepreneur. So I love listening to stories about CEOs, like in TED Talk, and also in Cebu. There are a lot of entrepreneurs or CEOs who would love to share their ideas, their mistakes, their dumb mistakes. I would love to share my dumb mistakes in the past. So yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't believe in hereditary. It can be trained and developed.
Okay. Um, since you don't believe that this is hereditary, Miss Tere, can you walk us through when you say that you are hands-on with your business? What does it mean to be hands-on with your business for you?
Yeah. Being hands on doesn't mean that I have to micromanage. So you have to learn. There's a very thin line on being hands on and micromanaging because hands on meaning that you know the ins and outs of your numbers. You have to know your numbers. Business is a numbers game. If you don't know the numbers game, then you do not deserve to be in the business. You will lose eventually.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you have to have the right people. So if you have the right people, you have to learn to trust them. So for me, I trust Rex can manage and he has an assistant. I trust that he can manage to do a system for the logistics and for the resource. So I just give him my instructions, what he needs to do, what he needs to accomplish, and then he does that. If he commits a mistake, then we will discuss what are his lapses and what can he do or what is his action plan in the next events. So same as the other coaches. So I am hands-on, but I leverage in their skills. I am not a technical person. I'm a marketing person. Rex, by the way, also when you're hiring someone, you have to make sure that he complements your skills. Do not
Mm,
hire do not hire for cheap labor. That's what I've learned
oh,
before. If it's a fresh graduate, it's gonna be difficult for you, especially when you're a startup. It's gonna be difficult for you because you have to train them. You have to hire them because you he can be a complementary tool to reach your goal. So you have to have an expert or somewhat like for me, Juna, my assistant manager, she is very strict and very firm. She knows accounting well. She has admin tasks. She knows admin tasks. I don't like admin tasks. I do the marketing and sales. Rex does the technical stuff. So the three of us, I mean, my sister also. My sister, she is more of the admin task. So I don't do that.
mm,
So we complement each other. So if you're gonna train a fresh grad or you're gonna hire cheap labor, then you're still gonna do the work. Whereas if you're gonna hire someone, you don't necessarily have to have a big salary. some people work because they are valued and they
Mm,
have a purpose. It depends on you how are you going to let them see your vision. So for me, I do profit sharing for them because it's a win-win for me. So they do the job, I do the job, and then we split every quarter. So that's why it's really important to hire the right people and not to hire fresh grads. That was the most expensive mistakes that we have learned before. So
Second to the last question that I may ask, Mr. Ray, how it is true that you have to separate your money, your business money from your personal money, and how does it intersect with each other that your business money, when can you have your personal money go to the business money and the business money go to your personal money?
you have to really you need to separate and you need to pay yourself by right. You need to pay yourself because you would not know if you're losing or not if you're not going to pay yourself. You have to have a certain amount of salary in your business. That's why like I said before, you have to have a business plan. In your business plan, you have to have your numbers, your how much is your rent, how much is
Mm,
your salary for your employees,
yes.
how much is your salary. Usually your salary is quite smaller compared to your employees,
Yes.
just to really see the numbers.
Yeah.
And then how much is your utilities. So that's why. Then you have, for example, your OPEX is like 50,000. So I need to make 200,000 so that I can get a profit of 150. How are you going to do that? So you break down the points on how are you going to make that kind of sale for the month. Then after that, you review if you have met the quota or not. Then what's your next action plan? So it's all about the numbers don't lie. So you
Mm,
need to really put it into paper. You have to have a recording. So you can go, well, you know what to do next.
yeah. Okay. So my last question maybe will be, um, what are those questions that an entrepreneur must ask for themselves when they are going to have a business? The three main questions that they can ask themselves so that they can start their business.
Mm. First is what do I want to do when I'm already 50 or 60? What am I passionate about? Number two is how am I going to make this a profitable one? How can I make this into a business? And third is how am I going to make an impact to society? Because you cannot just create a business without an impact. It has to serve its purpose because it's really important. The businesses, the consumers actually buy more if you hit the emotional branding. So, for example, support local. For me, Smarties Apparel, I promote the makers of our apparels, which are the seamstress. So people love the idea that we are helping them keep their jobs. So that's why. So you have
Wow.
to learn your whys and your hows. So for me, that's my top three.
Wow. And I said that was the last question, but I will really want to know what are the main and the most important realization that you had after many years of making business. You can also cite as many as you can, but those only that you are willing to share.
If I had to redo myself, if I had to mentor myself 5 years ago, I would tell myself like, Tere, you're going too fast. Um, you're going too fast, and you're hiring fast. You're hiring fast. So when we were still starting, we hired a lot of people without a business plan. We just go like, kailangan man na to admin, so mag-hire ta. Ana. because the
Mm,
business, the sales were still up. But how
mm.
about the next months that you would be like low in sales? Who's
That's the
gonna pay
question.
for their salaries? Yeah,
Yeah.
who's gonna pay for their salaries? So as much as possible, if you can still do it by yourself, don't hire. Don't hire.
Mm,
So
powerful. Yeah.
yes, and then second is you have to have an accounting. If you do not have an accounting, there's free free applications. Oh no, I think it's QuickBooks, or you can do Excel. Excel, as long as you record your sales and your expenses, and then you know how much your profit is at the end of the month, then you're good. But if things or the sales are actually going up, then that's the time that you need to hire an accounting. For me, I have a number that I have in mind. I'm still doing the accounting at Active Hub. So for me, if the amount is gonna reach the quota that I have in mind, then that's the time I will hire an accountant. But for now, it's still manageable, so you don't need to hire. You can do it yourself. The most important thing is you know the numbers by heart. Even if you're sleeping, you know the numbers that this is my sales today. This is the expenses today.
Wow. Mr. Red, thank you very much that you have shared all these nuggets of wisdom about business. And it shows to me that you've done it well. You've done it well up to this moment. And I'm very, very fortunate that you're able to share it with my platform, all those the whereabouts of how you deal with your personal life and your business and how you started. I'm very grateful because listening to you actually from the very beginning, if you will rewatch this one from the very beginning, you already blow it out. You know, I was asking a while ago, I was asking myself, well, mystery, there you go, the active woman. That's how she is. You know, so um, yeah, what we have discussed this afternoon is just the tip of the iceberg that you have shared. I know that there are a lot in that iceberg from the very bottom of that underlying stories that you can tell. And thank you very much for this opportunity of having you in my show. So
Thank
if
you
you
also,
have how
Desai.
so how can if people wanted to connect with you and know more about you, how can they reach you?
I just have a Facebook account. It's TERE CONSON. So you can just message me. So feel free to message me if you want like business advice. I'm not really a consultant, but I can share my experience. So I'll be happy to help. If normally I reply at night because the daytime my work schedule is crazy. So yes, you can reach me. And also, Nifai, thank you so much. This has been a breather for me because it's not a routine in my
Yeah.
week. So I get to enjoy and talk to another person, another empowered woman. So I'm really hopeful that you can also be running your own empire. So I'm really excited
Yeah.
for that. So do not hesitate to message me if you need advice on the business side or registering your business for your other businesses. I have I I can give you contacts in DTI, DOST. So no worries about that.
That's what I learned actually having friends. And I think one of the uh, thing that I've learned in doing all this stuff is you have to know the people whom to connect to so that you can. That's very important because they can tell you the exact thing that you need to know when you want to explore this kind of business. And Mr. is one of
Yes.
that. I guess Mr. When somebody will message you, pwede ba mag-loan? So, doon pa lang sabay tutubag.
At
Hindi
Tumuki
ko pa,
OST.
yeah.
Tumuki OST.
Yeah. And
And
I just want
DTI.
to make it clear, no? Kasi when we say people that yeah, you can reach us, you can message us. Sometimes there are boundaries also that you might consider asking us. No, we cannot Yeah, we might give you some if we have extra, but um, to that extent, no, you should also know what to ask us.
Yes.
Mr. Red, thank you very much, and I hope to see you personally soon. And to get my apparel to buy with
Yes.
you, I'm very excited to fit that. And
Yes. Thank you,
thank
tayo,
you very
Nicole.
much. Say my regards to Sir Marvin, and good luck to active women and smart and built for friends.
Good luck to your businesses ventures as well. Thank you, Nifai.
Bye bye, Mr. Re.
Bye
See you
bye.
very soon.
Bye bye. See you. Salamat, salamat.
I just want to acknowledge Trixie. Hi for watching us. Thank you for always supporting and being with us every afternoon. Um, Thank you also to Mr. Reconson for sharing all her ideas about being active in your business. So if you have time and if you're watching live, if you're watching replay, all those nuggets of wisdom that she shared to us are very important and very crucial when you want to start your own business. Um, in my personal experience, I always believe that when you want to start a business, you must have first to create the quality of what to offer. Because when you know when you know the quality of what you offer, then there are certain people who will look after you to find the quality that you offer, and then from there the opportunity will just spark, and then you might just be surprised that once your passion, your ex, like for me, I am a holistic coach. I started everything because it's just part of my lifestyle. I never think to make it into a business. So when as the years go by, people are now acknowledging that they need also something like this, and the opportunity opened that my passion, my lifestyle, my workout, what I eat, what I my philosophy in life, what what I what I say, it turns into value, and I make money out of that. So for those of you who are watching this one, start thinking of what can you offer, that unique abilities and capabilities that you have, that you can offer, and and what what is that that will bring an opportunity for others to join you when you create your own business. So this has been a very great afternoon for us. And for those of you who wants to start to venture your business, just be passionate for now, and then after a while create an opportunity and connect with right people to support you in your business. Thank you very much for watching with us, and I hope, keep in mind, to win it all you must always live in love and give with compassion. See you again next week.
Gopala, Govinda Rama.